Hello, today we are going to discuss an Instagram post by Entrepreneur Magazine. When we're experts in our field, and it's something that we work with and we do on a regular basis, when things aren't quite right, they jump out at us. Like for one example, if someone's a military veteran, like I was in the Navy, and you see something in a movie that's obviously not accurate, you're like, that's not right. Well, of course, one way to tell that someone is a Toastmaster, has been in Toastmasters, is if you see them during a speech tracking how many times the speaker says ah, and ah. That's another kind of giveaway. And this is what's happened with this posting by Entrepreneur Magazine. And we are going to take a look at this and kind of go through some of the basic elements of visual communication and what went horribly wrong with this one. So this is the post. It's the best and worst states to start a business in 2023. These four things are kind of generally what you want to aim for when you're doing some kind of visual communication, an infographic, a chart, whatever it might be. It needs to be readily apparent what the purpose is. Why are you looking at this design? Why are you looking at this image? For this, they have a title, The Best and Worst States to Start a Business in 2023. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to get from this graphic. Check. The next one is context. Then, is it easily understood? And sometimes there's exceptions to this, depending on what you're doing, what the field is. Graphics can become more complicated when they become more specific in something that's highly technical. But for general public use, they need to be fairly easy to understand what they're trying to say. And the fourth point is they definitely need to clarify and not confuse the viewer. So right off the bat, what do the colors mean? And you got red, yellow, and blue. They're all over the place. There's not a legend. Is red danger? Is typically what it means. Or does red mean it's hot, that it's a great place to start a business? We don't know. Same thing with blue and yellow. Is blue because it's cold? Or is blue being used because of high trust factor and that's really good? Yellow's kind of a warning color, kind of in the middle would be my assumption. But we don't know what the colors mean. And there's no label to figure this out. Now, on this post, there are instructions to click on the link for more information. That link is broken. And this post has been up for about 3 or 4 days at this point, and nothing's been changed. The link still doesn't work, and there are some pretty non-complimentary comments being made, and nothing has been addressed yet, which is also kind of surprising. Now, we apparently have had 2 states merge. My home state of Illinois has combined with Indiana. If you look at the map, you will see that there is no border between the two. And we'll make this a little bit larger so you can kind of see right here, there's no line. Now, they did put a border between Washington and Oregon in that top left corner. So it wasn't that they didn't have that consideration in mind. It just got missed for whatever reason. So we now have Illinois, Indiana, or whatever we would call it. So that's a little weird. Also, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan apparently has ceded from the rest of Michigan, and it's its own state being represented in yellow, with the rest of Michigan being represented in red. Does this person, do they not know any geography? I have another theory too I'll share at the end. California, Florida, Texas, they're all represented in red. We don't know why. Maybe the data that they use to do the analysis showed them all sharing the same categorization. We don't know this. And if you are familiar with the difference in business climates and the economic climates of these different states, it's pretty unlikely that they would all be at the same level. At least that would be my supposition. Like I said, we don't know the data. Maybe they are, but rarely are all three mentioned in a positive or a negative way altogether. The one thing they do share is huge populations, so you have a lot of people to start a business around. But then things start to differ pretty radically. So it would be really curious to see what the data is that could possibly align all three of these in a similar ranking for the best and worst state to start a business. Hey, Hawaii, Alaska, sorry, you no longer count. You don't even get a place on the corner of the map anymore. You're just gone. So, no starting the business in Hawaii and Alaska, according to the Entrepreneur magazine. How could something like this get out from a big publication? Entrepreneur is a big publication. They have a big circulation, a big online presence. They hold events. How did this graphic get not only created, but then published and left out there? Couple thoughts. Either you had someone that had no clue about visual design and geography, create this and put it out there. You had no quality control when it went out or before it went out to make sure it was accurate, that there was a label or anything saying what these colors mean. No desire to go back and correct it once it was out there. And the other thing that's kind of in the back of my mind is it kind of makes you wonder if this was created with any kind of an AI program, that is becoming more and more common. And, I don't know if they would actually be able to detect like there's different geographic areas and pet them different colors automatically, or if someone just did that, on their own. But it's a big miss on the part of Entrepreneur Magazine. And it's really, really quite surprising. It's not something I would expect out of an outfit like that. So when you do your own visual design, when you do your own visual communications, keep in mind those 4 items that we talked about earlier, and pet out something that's going to make people's lives easier and not question the design. Because if they start questioning the design and the representation, they're going to start questioning the authenticity and the accuracy of the information and the competency of the person or the organization penning it out.